Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everybody! This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about Married with Children Season 7 Christmas. So, in Season 7, there was one new change added to the show. Seven. And of course, he's named Seven because it's the seventh season. Seven was, God, who was it? I think he was the cousin or like nephew of Peggy, and her family relatives didn't want him, so they took him in. And he turned out not to be a fan favorite with the audience. So I'm pretty sure halfway into the seventh season or in the eighth season, he was written out. And for the longest time, it was revealed like what the world happened to him because he was never mentioned until Marcy said he's been over at her place staying there and won't leave, but we never get to see him. And then we see his face on like a milk carton talking about missing child or something like that. So that was their Bundy way of like getting rid of him on the show. But this was a really good Christmas episode, probably better than that of the second season. So in this episode, we see a bar, and at the bar is a bunch of drunken Santas, a bunch of Santa's helpers. And we see an elf come in, and the elf wants like a drink, but the bartender won't serve him because no elves are allowed. And he says the next Santa to talk down to him is gonna get kicked in the nuts. Well, guess who shows up? Al, in a Santa suit, making fun of him, and whack right in the balls. And so, like, of course, there's like a one little stray hooker in like the bar and everything. So Al, he's like all sad and depressed and everything. And he tells the story of why he's sad and depressed. And I remember seeing this, thinking to myself, since when is he a Santa's helper? I know he did it in that second season episode, but only because Santa like fell in his backyard and died. And so he tells the story, and it's kind of cool to see the flashback. It's your typical TV show flashback where the actors play their younger selves and stuff. And so in this is probably like 79 or 80, something like that. And so Bud is like a little baby in the baby seat. And of course, it's played by, like I said, the actor who normally plays Bud. So it's like a grown, I think he was a teenager at that time. And so he's like a teenager playing a little baby and everything. And Kelly, she's has pigtails and she's playing with her doll. For some reason, they don't take her lipstick off. Don't know why. And of course, Peggy's wearing the same wig that she wore. My bad for yawning. I'm like really tired. Peggy's wearing the same wig that she wore this season. Now, when it comes to the actress of Peggy, she only wore her real hair in the first season, and she got tired of dyeing it. And so after that, in the second season, she started wearing a wig. But to keep her hair looking new and everything, they got like a new wig like every season, and her hair constantly kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so like in the house, like okay, so like there's like a height thing right in the house. So it's like all the kids and Al and everything, and it shows that Al is literally as tall as the door arch himself. Um, the family's in the house, and like Peggy's all like, what do y'all want for like Christmas? And the only thing Bud can say is Hooters and Playboy over and over and over. And every time he says that, the mom wipes out like her handkerchief and wipes like the drool from like his mouth. And so he constantly keeps saying this over and over, and Kelly's all like I think she calls him like an idiot. And so the mom's all like, those are the only words he knows. And then he turns around and he's like heck I do. So Al comes in, and Al has a head full of hair. Before he talks to the family, he goes by the door to measure his height. And it's shown that he's a couple of inches down, and he's all like, I think he says working at the shoe store has like made him like stumped in growth and made him short or something like that. And then he tells the family like this is the last year he works at the shoe store. And then he tells one of his fat jokes about one of the women that comes in, and he told the woman to slap like a star on her butt and she'll be the ugliest Christmas tree in the thing. Lord, I swear about these fat jokes, boy. And so they tell him, what they want for Christmas. He's like, and he has money, but he don't want to spend it on them. So he's kind of like, oh, okay, well, you know, I ain't got much money this year, so I'm only gonna have to get one of you a gift. So who's ever been good, can get a gift. So then what they do, they rat on each other. He's all like, oh, you're over here squealing on each other. That's not very nice. So he doesn't get them nothing. And so he tells the people at the bar that story. And he said it was a perfect plan and it worked every year, except for 2 weeks ago. Now, this is a bit of a continuity error because we don't see this in the other Christmas episodes. This is something, that's what I hate when the writers do. They bring up something new and it's kind of like, well, what about last Christmas and stuff in that one episode? But, oh well, it's still funny. So then they show what happened 2 weeks ago, right? And 2 weeks ago, the family came up with like a plan. So this year they're not gonna rat each other out. They're gonna stay united. And Seven's there too. And so Al comes in, and what's funny is you always know he comes home because Peggy's all like, I hope he didn't use the money, the Christmas money, to get his brakes fixed. So every time he comes home, he's like, no brakes, no brakes. And then he slams into the garage. Oh, ow. And so, like, oh wait, that's actually a catchphrase that Peggy uses when she's getting herself some. Ah, crap. And so, like, oh boy. And so, like, Bud is still doing his Hooters Playboy thing, and Peggy still wipes off the drool off his mouth now that he's older now and stuff. And so, like, he comes home and he tells that same fat joke, the same as that one from like all those years ago. And he's all like, no, that couldn't happen that many years ago. It happened today. He's like, did it? He's like, oh God, this story is killing him. Oh, Ed O'Neill, boy. So that man is hilarious. And so, like, what is it? So they do the whole what they want for Christmas, and then he does the whole crap like, oh, I can't give nobody who's been naughty, but they shut their mouths, and he's pissed. He's all like, you united against me. And he's all like, well, I'm broke and I ain't got no money. And they're all like, well, don't worry, we're gonna help you out. We got jobs. He is ecstatic because this is a family who does not want to work. Well, Kelly works at one point. I think she starts working next season, I think it is. I can't remember. But no, then they sing him like, 12 Nights of Christmas, but the jobs they got, they're not for them. They're for him. They got him a litany of jobs, and one of them is playing Santa. So that correlates to what's been going on now. And so, like, then there's a scene, an interesting scene, where he comes home and he gets the kids and his wife everything they wanted. He got his wife that new watch she wanted. I forget what Kelly gets. Oh, the CD player. Seven got a bunch of toys, and Bud got Hooters. It's like a little play set where you build them yourself and everything. And he's so happy and ecstatic. And so, like, what is it? So, like, he still does the whole Playboy Hooters, Playboy Hooters. And Peggy is still like wiping the drool from like his mouth. But this is the most interesting part. Normally when she does it, she pulls the handkerchief either from her pocket or her sleeve. But this time she pulled it straight out from her cleavage while she's wearing one of her nightgowns and stuff. And so, like, then they talk about how you're the best daddy in the world. And then it's a dream sequence. He wakes up at the bar and then he tells the bartender, like, I had a dream. I gave my son breasts. And then he's all like, how much I owe for the tab? He's all like, well, since you was like passed out, you decided to pay for everybody. Or at least that's what the bartender lied and told him. And you know Al, he ain't gonna take this lying down. He looks at the dude's necklace, and the necklace says Ray. He grabs it, and then like the next scene, we see the family. They're up and about, and then Al comes in with no brakes, and then he gives them Christmas gifts, and you wouldn't believe what he gives them, man. He stole so much stuff from that bar. And so like he gives Bud like a dartboard. And then Bud's like, Raise? He's like, yeah, whatever. Because that's the name of the bar and the name of the owner. He gives Kelly a giant like TV on the wall with the wall still attached to it. And he's all like, here, pumpkin, you'll never have to learn how to read with a TV. And she's all like, it comes with its own wall. And it's a raise. He gives like seven, a bunch of like mugs, beer mugs and everything. And for Peggy, he gives her a gold necklace that says Ray. Hmm. And she doesn't understand why it says that. He's all like, cuz you like my little ray of sunshine. Oh boy. And of course he doesn't get Buck nothing. But he's all like, you're just a dumb dog. And Buck's all like, well, I left you a dead bird in your jacket. Oh, I miss Buck so much. Sadly, the dog has died. In the, what was it, 10th season, they wrote it to where he died, but he didn't die at that time. It was just they retired him because he got so old he could barely move off the steps and everything. But sadly, he has like died. That was one of the cutest little dogs on TV. Then they replaced him with that stupid Lucky thing. I did not like that at all. Bah humbug, that was a good episode. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.